This is a Comptometer model C Lite, and it's in very good condition. If you look at the top, most of the paint is still there. There's a couple spots, here and there that are corroded, but overall, I think this is from like 1911, so for its age, it's in very, very nice shape. Much nicer than my other Comptometer model C Lite that I have. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the case off and do some oiling just to make sure everything's freshly oiled up. And that should be about all this one would need, I hope. So start by taking the crank off the side here. Sometimes these cranks can be seized on. So here, this one is. It seems a bit stiff. So in that case, what you can do, this has worked for me before, just take something soft, like this paper towel here, and we'll put it in there, and then you can just try and pry it off. And there we go. That's off, and the paint is protected that way. Just a keyed crank. That's free. So and everything else to come off is this front register cover, so that's just these two screws here. See this like dirt here? I'm not sure if that'll come off or that's actually like impregnated into the paint, but you can take a look. Once you have this off, this should just slide forward right off. There we go. And you can see on the back side, that's where the oil holes are. All the holes in the front just come out the back to inject oil into the appropriate positions. And then this plastic here just slides out. We'll have to replace that because some of these have holes in them. So replace that, and you can see the numbers a lot better as well. So that dirty yellow plastic. So now we have that off, you can see in the mechanism there, all the digit wheels look nice and clean. There's maybe some dirt on that one, but overall not bad. All the numbers seem to be legible. Piece of plastic on that one. Piece of the window plastic had fallen off. So with that out, the last thing is just put down a piece of paper towel, and then I can turn this up on its side. And then there's 4 screws in the bottom. So it has 3 of its feet left, although they're pretty smushed, but that one's missing. And then just these 4 screws come out of each of the corners. All the comptometers that I've worked on are built pretty much the same way. Because I haven't worked on any of the later 50s models, but I have Model A, I have Model C, this is my second Model C Lite, and I have a Model F, and they all come apart pretty much the same way. The only difference is with the Model A, instead of having the brass register cover, brass, but plated painted metal register cover, it has a glass cover, or it should have a glass cover. And then this should lift out. Now usually it's going to be glued to the bottom. The inside of these cases are some sort of cork-like material, I think, and wherever it sits on the bottom, it kind of gets stuck, so it's here, popping off. Stuck. All my screws are out. Front's kind of loose. The back is still kind of stuck. There it goes. I'll just slide out. Put this off to the side, so you can see the inside there, hey, that looks like what used to be the other foot, I think. I hope that's what that is anyway. Otherwise, I have no idea what that is. Anyway, you can see there where it was just resting on the cork bottom and how it got stuck to that. And actually, it looks like there's almost some sort of like woven material on the other side. Interesting, I never noticed that before. And you can see it up there too, woven material. Anyway, so the whole case is lined with cork. That's kind of like a sound dampening thing. So you can set that off to the side. Then we have the actual mechanism itself. Comes like that. I'm not going to take this top plate off because in order to do that you have to take all of the keys out, which is really not necessary in my opinion, and it's kind of difficult to get them back in because each of these keys sits in between two long bars that go all the way back. Not sure if I'll be able to show this or not. You can see from the side, let's drop this down a little bit. You see if that makes it any better. So you can kind of see, here's one bar. Not sure if you can see the other one or not. I think the other one is down further. But basically the idea is that one bar is a rocker that has gears on their teeth on the front end that drives the digit wheels. So you see if I push down this key, you can see how that bar drops with the key. So that's what that bar that's dropping with the key is what's actually doing the driving. And then when the key gets down to the bottom of its stroke, because if you can, not sure if you can see, but there's actually a pin on both sides of the key. So you see there's one pin down lower. Let me get my pointer. There's one pin right here on the opposite side of the key, and then there's another pin right here on the close side of the key. And the opposite side one is what drives that bar. The close side one, when the key gets to wherever the predetermined bottom is supposed to be, when it's driven the driving bar as far as it's supposed to, there's another bar on this side of the key that it hits, and that activates a stop to stop the key from being depressed too far and giving a larger reading than it was intended to. So the keys, all the keys have to go in between both of those bars, and there's the same thing in each column. So once you put the top on, then sometimes it can be kind of hard to see to work the keys back down in between those bars where they need to go. And in fact, right now, I can't even see that other bar. So I think I took the top plate off my other Comptometer model C Lite, and it wasn't very easy to get back on. I did manage to get it back on, but it wasn't very easy. So since I haven't really no reason to take this one off, everything seems pretty pretty. I just want to do a routine oiling. I really see no reason to take the top plate off. Now if we lift this over, you can see what the bottom looks like. These things are the springs that return the keys. Each key has a little hook that goes into the bottom of this plate here, and then you can see the plate. You can't see because my camera's pointed at the wrong thing. And see this hook right here is the bottom of the key, and that goes into a hole in this plate which is spring loaded, so that this is what pushes the key back up, in addition to the spring loaded bar pushing it back up. So these, so you can see this thing right here is the bar for the dead column, and then these are the bars for the other column. So the springs are what pull the bars back up and actually drive the wheels forward. So I think I did a description of how this mechanism works before, but I'll just go over it, real brief here. These bars are what drive the actual wheels. So when you push down on the bar, it ratchets forward, and then when the spring pulls it back up, it actually drives the wheel forward. So if I turn this around to the front, so you can see the register, I'll push down on that bar again. You can see as I push down, it ratchets forward, and then as I let it spring back up, it actually drives the wheel. And then when you clear it, it brings all the wheels to zero position. And now it's not looking quite right, I think. There we go. So that might clear up with oil. I think that was just the carrier was a little bit stuck. Let's try that again. There it goes. That one's kind of stuck too. So you can see some of these things do seem to be a little bit stiff, but again, with the oiling, I should loosen those up, I think. When you clear it, it drives the wheels forward until they hit a stop, and I believe that stop is at 9. So now they're at 1, and it's going to drive them forward until they hit the stop, and then it's going to add 1 to each column. Well, in this case it didn't because it's a bit stuck. Yeah, see, there you go. So it drives all these forward to 9, and then all of them forward to 9, and then it adds 1 extra one to the last column, which when that happens, this rolls over and carries all the way across the machine to zero it all out. The carriers are kind of sticking, but with oil that should loosen up. So I'm going to get on oiling this, and hopefully once I'm done, it will be 100% working. Okay, so I've let the oil soak in here, and everything seems to be working pretty well now. So I can carry works just fine on that register now, and if I clear it, everything clears out. So that seems to be working just fine now. I've started cleaning the digit wheels here. You can see if you can see the difference. How much cleaner and brighter these two are versus the rest of them. Just trying to get the 100 years worth of dirt off of them. So those should clean up pretty nice. The register plastic I replaced. Actually what I used for that was they make these plastic shields that go over the fluorescent tube lights. It's just the right thinness and stiffness that works pretty well for making these register covers. So it's just like a really thin but stiff sheet of plastic like this. And that just slides in under these two tabs here and then makes a nice register cover. You can see through that. Might clean up a little bit. I think there's a little bit of dirt on it, but when you put it on, you can very easily see through to see the numbers, so that should work out just fine for that. So I think this is almost done. Just a little bit of cleaning yet that I want to do here. See, there's still some garnish up here. Otherwise, I think they should be almost done then. Now I think here the paint's actually worn off. So the way that these machines, the cases were constructed is, there's a steel case and then they copper plated it and then they painted it in brown lacquer. So sometimes you see these comptometers that are all nice and copper and shiny. That's actually not correct. There should be a layer of brown lacquer, so that's why this one's not shiny. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this deeper brown color, not the shiny copper. So I think here what's happened is the actual lacquer, which you can see here, has worn off, and this is probably down to the bare copper. And actually up here you can almost see some of the steel poking through a little bit. It's more of a silvery color up there, the shine. So still, this is one of the best quality cosmetically machines that I've seen. Usually when you get these, there's a bunch of rust different places on them, but this one is very clean for its age. So just a little bit of cleaning left to do, maybe a little bit of oiling here and there, and we should be ready to put this back together. Okay, so this is all back together now. One of the tests you can do in your Comptometer is to press all the buttons on the keyboard, and it should be 4, 9, and 5 in the last digit. So you can do that. And you can see that works. Something else that I think is kind of fun to do is to check the carry blocks. So when the reason why you can press multiple keys at a time on the comptometer is because if a carry occurs in this column, while the key is pressed in this column, the carry is blocked from propagating until the key in this column is released, and then the carry can flop over. So to test that, we'll press 9 3 times in each column while holding down this last 9. See, all those are blocked, and when I release, all the carries propagate, and that is the correct answer. So that all works. And just for fun, we can do a division. Everything is 355 divided by 113, so I'm going to use 112 on the small digits for complements. So I think I've explained this before, but basically how you do division is you look at the column one position to the left of where you're working first, and that's a 0, so we do nothing. So as long as 113 is less than what's directly below us, we continue to press it. So it's still less, so it's still less. Now it's not less, so we move over one column. And same thing, there's a 0 here, so we do nothing. And then we just keep moving right across. So where should I be this time? It should be here, I think. Yeah. Wait, I think I messed that up. Let me try that again. 5 1 1 3. Okay, so now that's 16, so that's wrong, so move over 1. And there's a 0 to the left of us, so well, there's a 1 to the left of us, so we'll hit it once, and it's still a 1, so we do nothing. So then we look at, again, these, that's larger, so and as you can see, we are 3.14159, and then this over here is our remainder. So that seems to work. These little tabby things here are the carry inhibits. So if I had 46 or 56, and I wanted to subtract, say, 4 from that, what I would do is I would use the complement, so the complement less 1, so that would be the small 3, since that's 1 less than 4, so the small 3 here, and I hold this tab up, and that will let me subtract 4, which it does. So this carry inhibitor just prevents the carry from propagating over, because so to actually subtract 4, you add 6. So we had 6 plus 6 is 12, but we want to block the carry from propagating over, so we hold this up. If you didn't have these, you'd have to enter 0.0000003 to subtract 4. But because you have these, you don't have to enter all the leading zeros for the complement subtraction. If I wanted to subtract, say, 7 now, because this is a 2-digit number, now I have to hold up this carry inhibit, or not because 7 is larger than this number. I have to borrow from this column, so now I have to hold up this carry inhibit and enter 0, 6, because I'm subtracting 7, so 1 less than 7 is 0, 6. And you can see that that works as well. So I think that's about it then for this machine. Everything seems to work pretty well. Let's give you a shot of the patent plate back here. That's one of the cleanest ones that I've seen. So if you enjoyed this look at just cleaning this up and getting it working again, it didn't require much, just some oiling and working a little bit to get the register to clear fully. That's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.